Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Mind your business. Only on Money FM 89.3.
Welcome to The Breakfast Show. We've all heard about outdoor air pollution and how harmful it can be to our health. But did you know that indoor air pollution could potentially do more damage? In fact, the World Health Organization has called it the world's largest single environmental health risk. But one Singapore startup by the name of Green-Airy has developed a new technology which supercharges plants to kill toxic gases that conventional air purifiers cannot eliminate within modern indoor spaces. The brainchild of it all is Tanvi Thombre, founder of Greenairy, who joins us in the studio this morning. She's a young entrepreneur in her 20s who's already amassed a good deal of experience as a business owner. And Tanvi, I have to welcome you to our studio and to Money FM. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Audrey, Ryan, and Kai Ting. I'm very excited to be talking to you about what we are doing here.
Yeah, so, it's making me think, what was I doing in my 20s? Like, what on earth was I doing? You are, of course, very young and already leading a startup, so an impressive feat to say the least. So tell us what inspired you to venture into entrepreneurship. Where did you get the drive, and were you scared or nervous about starting things out on your own?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's great that you immediately started with the mental health aspect of being a founder. What got me into this was, actually, I was studying robotics at SUTD, and my best friend and I, we were spending hours in the fabrication lab. So there were laser cutters, 3D printers, bandsaws, soldering machines, and all of these were creating a really toxic gas environment. And me and all our project mates, we were spending hours in that lab experiencing the health impacts of being in that toxic polluted air.
Yeah.
And of course that took a toll. Like, while indoor air pollution is a very unseen health hazard, it doesn't mean that it's not affecting our bodies in the long term. So my best friend, she actually fainted and went to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So that was a huge wake-up call for us to look for a solution that was better than existing solutions. So I know most of you are thinking, great, after listening to this, let's get an air purifier. The unfortunate part is that air purifiers, they have HEPA filters that are really great at removing dust, pollen, physical particles. But the major source of pollution that we found testing offices all across Singapore and actually all over the world was that the toxic gases, the volatile organic compounds like formaldehyde, benzene, toluene, CO2, CO, all these are the major polluting factors indoors.
Okay, yeah, good to know. I don't think anyone would think about the indoor air pollution and how damaging that could be. But at what point did you realize it could be developed into a viable business?
Yeah, I think the process was pretty long. I first did my master's right after my bachelor's because I thought this was something that I should look into, cleaning the air. So during my bachelor's itself, my best friend and I, we started exploring what are the solutions that could solve this problem of indoor air pollution. So since conventional air purifiers are not doing a great job at it, and we realized nature has a solution. Plants are actually really great at removing toxic gases, but they're extremely slow. So in a space like this, in a 30-meter square office space, enclosed like this, you would actually need 300 plants.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's no space.
That would be more like a jungle. Yeah. So that's when we started thinking about how can we incorporate technology into nature so that together they can do an even better job than either just a conventional technology-based air purifier or just plants alone.
Yeah. So integrating technology with nature, love that. And your background is in engineering product development, like you said. So how has that academic experience kind of helped you build Greenairy? What are some of the key challenges that you face along the way as well?
The experience that I had at SUTD really built me up to work on Greenairy. So my robotics background, it gave me the fabrication skills, the prototyping skills that we needed to build our first few prototypes. So it was a lot of 3D printing, a lot of modeling, a lot of integrating electronics into our own custom tower shape. So that robotics experience definitely, without it, we wouldn't even have been able to build the first few versions of the product. And after that, I actually went on to do a master's in product design, and that was the scientific basis of all our work right now at Greenairy. So since we create the ideal conditions, it's similar to precision hydroponics. It's like people all over the world are researching what are the ideal lighting conditions for the crops to grow better, what are the ideal watering, humidity conditions. In the same way, we're doing the same thing, but instead of optimizing for crop growth, we are optimizing for the air purification. So that the master's program under my prof, it gave me the background to know what are these ideal conditions. It gave me that time as well to explore and research.
Okay. So if you could describe a supercharged plant for me from Greenairy, does it look like a regular plant? Is it much bigger? And, you mentioned that we would need 300 plants to purify the air in this studio. How many supercharged plants would we need then?
Great question. Yeah, so instead of 300 plants in a space like this, 30 meters square approximately, you would need one Greenairy tower, because our tower supercharges each plant by 10 to 100 times. So one tower generally has about 30 to 36 plants, and that's definitely sufficient for a space like this. Yeah.
Wow, okay. And it looks like a regular sized plant, or is it, when you say a tower, it's a giant plant?
It's similar to a standing fan size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's still pretty small. And that could replace 300 plants.
Yes.
That's incredible. Okay, so a fascinating journey, being a young entrepreneur, tackling indoor air pollution with innovative solutions. I'm sure, being so young, what have been the biggest hurdles in building and sustaining your business?
I think firstly, the challenges are, people joke that you leave the 9 to 5 for 24/7, and that's absolutely true.
Oh, no.
So, it's like being a founder is a never-ending job, even when I'm on vacation. I mean, I really have to thank my family and my friends for being extremely patient with me, knowing the nature of my work, but it's like, I have to reply emails and I have to work even when on every single vacation that I have been on. It's my hobby, even I would say, like when people ask, so what do you do in your free time? It's like, I'm working on my startup.
Yeah, it's always something to do, right?
Yeah.
So how do you balance that? How do you stay motivated and resilient during all of the tough times and the long working hours?
I think in the end, it always comes down to people. So one is I have a great support system in my personal life, my family and my friends. And then secondly, my team as well really motivates me. So the team that I work with and the mentors that we have, I always feel like I'm accountable to them to get a good job done. So that keeps me going. And lastly, it's also knowing that we're solving a really big problem that once we crack this, could impact so many lives.
Yeah, and I'm sure that keeps you going.
Yeah.
So you've also been actively collaborating with other young social entrepreneurs across APAC. How important is collaboration in your field, and how do you see it kind of shaping the future of social entrepreneurship in general?
Collaboration is, the key to making any initiative work. And I think that's something that I realized more as I stepped into this work. So not only do opportunities, I think last year, I was very fortunate to have a lot of really great exposure opportunities, and all of them were opened up to me because the right person introduced me to them. So I would say, and on my end, I do the same job for other founders and for other people in the social impact space as well, creating opportunities for them, finding ways for them to work together to expand both our goals even faster and further. So I would say that the space, especially in Asia, other founders are very keen and very open, very hospitable to collaborate. So I think that's an opportunity that more founders are looking at right now as well.
Yeah, so I imagine that networking is the name of the game when it comes to entrepreneurship. If a 22-year-old came up to you and said, Tanvi, I would love some advice on how to start my own passion project, what would you say to him or her?
Two things. One is start now. It's really great that you're thinking of doing this. And I've met some really incredible, very, very young founders, like younger than me. And I think that's really inspiring. And the first thing that they've done, and I would advise anyone who's looking to go into this space to do, is to find a problem. Find a problem that affects enough people. It could deeply affect you as well. And I think then you're poised to find the right solution in that same space.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, and so let me end by asking more about the supercharged plans. Can anybody get a hold of these plans from Greenairy?
So right now, if you want to get our solutions, the first thing we do is we come into your office and we do an air quality test. So that's how we know what kind of pollutants do you have in your space.
How bad is it?
How
right?
bad, yes. When we go into a lot of the offices, at first they don't think they have a problem, but once we show them the statistics of all the air quality issues, that hotspots that they have around the office, we always get comments like, oh, no wonder when I go in there I get sinus, no wonder I feel more tired and lethargic when we have meetings in this room, no wonder I feel it's so stuffy and humid. Yes, it is a problem, but I think linking that with the data always makes it a lot more powerful to know that it's not just all in your head.
Yes, absolutely. And can you see benefits immediately once, the supercharged plant is in the office?
Mm-hmm. I would say the biophilic effects, the thing that affect you the most. Having plants in your office always boosts people's mood. And last pilot we had, one of them, employees in the office were so sad to see the plants go because they grew attached to the tower.
For sure.
Yeah, so I think that's like that mood boosting effect is the first thing you experience. And then after that, the major things is one, you definitely feel an increase in productivity. You don't feel so tired. You have less sick days because you are not exposing yourself to that toxic air every day. And you also get a boost in creativity.
And Tanvi, you were so kind to test our air quality here in the studio. Can you tell us how good/bad is it?
Okay, the numbers are in. The major issue that this space has is the humidity is too high.
Okay.
The CO2 level is impressively good for a small space like this and with the four of us gathering here.
Okay.
But I would imagine if there are more people using the space, then it would get to the toxic levels. And the dust level is very low. It's 1.
Get out. Really?
Yeah.
We were always talking about how it could be dusty in here. So you're saying that air quality can actually go up and down depending on who's in the room and all that? Okay.
Yeah. The machines that you're using, the furniture that you brought into the room, how many people are in the room, all these things actively impact the air quality. So when we do the air quality testing for our clients, we actually do it over the day, over the 24 hours, so you can see the rise and the fall as people come in and as people leave, as the air conditioning turns on, as machines turn on, as somebody does the cleaning. Yeah, that's a huge source of pollution as well.
Okay, maybe I should stop complaining so much, but we could still use one of your supercharged plants, I imagine.
Definitely. I would say the toxic gases are still currently being calibrated, but for the CO2, I think that's where we can help.
Okay. Yeah. Well, boosting your mood, boosting your health. This was a fascinating journey that you shared with us, Tanvi, being a young entrepreneur. And your story reminds us of the power of creativity and determination in addressing some of the world's most pressing challenges. Thank you so much for your insights and for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. We've been speaking with Tanvi Thombre, founder of Greenairy. Keep it here on Money FM 89.3.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.